Y'all ready to do another Crocktober recipe? Come on, let's do the easy route today. Y'all deserve a break. You deserve a break, mama. I know you've been making them 5-course meals. I know you've been working your tail off to make money to spend it on McDonald's. If you're a mama like me, then you get the best of both worlds. It's either a 5-course meal or it's dollar menu. We're compromising today. This recipe is going in my meal rotation because everybody loved it. You use some chicken. I used 3 frozen chicken breasts. They were kind of freezer burnt, but not really. 2 packs of stovetop chicken stuffing mix. 2 cans of cream of chicken. You can half this recipe, but I do feed 6 people, so I needed quite a bit. A whole 16-ounce container of sour cream. Don't ask me why, but I guess sour cream just goes in all sorts of pot meals. I mean, let's be honest, it's in everything. And then I just did 6 of these little 1/4 measuring cups of chicken broth. Y'all can do the math. I just did 6. I filled it up 6 times. After that, I chopped up an onion and celery. I was trying to chop it really fine, but I'm not good at chopping stuff, so I chopped it as small as I could get it, tossed it in there, and then mixed everything really good. You want it completely mixed so that all the wet ingredients are mixed in with that dry stuffing, or you're going to get really, really hard pieces. Ask me how I know. I'm going to season the chicken with some pepper, some salt, too much salt, oops, and a half a packet of Italian seasoning mix. Then I plop all this on top of the chicken. I make sure that the chicken is covered with it because a lot of that cream of chicken and juices and stuff are going to go down in the chicken too and like kind of marinate it sort of. And then I top it, cook it on high for 5.5 hours. Baby, it's really, really good. Y'all will love it. Once I have the food cooking in the crock pot, this is my time where my kiddos are working on their independent schoolwork. So half the school day is sit down time with me. We all sit down around, whether it be the table, outside on the porch, the couch, wherever we feel like doing school that day. We all sit down together and we go over core things together. We do our unit studies and then we do our individual studies. Once the studies with me are over, then they go and do their individual work in whatever space they want to do it. Sometimes they like doing it in their bedroom, sometimes out in the open with me. If it's something new that they require a lot of help with, I ask that they stay in the living room, and you'll see me here talking to one of my kiddos a lot, and that's because we're going over a lot of the things that they're learning this particular day. It was new to them. It required a lot of my help. So we were going over things. I was talking to them, explaining stuff. We were having a conversation about it while I was doing all these chores around the house. I really needed to get my house tackled because you guys can see I didn't even put up the last grocery haul that I did completely. It got really late and I didn't put anything up. I put most of the snack stuff up, but as far as the stuff that goes in the actual pantry I didn't put any of that up. So I really needed to tackle the kitchen before it got way overwhelming.
I bet you'll come around, but don't get me wrong. Do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. I feel it in my bones like you'll come along now. Baby, you're coming through. Do what you gotta do. Take it to the big scene. Take it all. Go for hope and glory. Go, go long. Baby, for love, go all for love. We're going for love, for beating hearts off the charts. Love, go all for love. We're going for love, baby, going for love, baby, for love. I bet you'll get it right, but don't get me wrong. Say what you gotta say. Say what you gotta say. Go like a satellite, just go like a star now. Say what you gotta say. Say what you gotta say. Take it to the big scene, take it all. Go for hope and glory. Go, go long. Baby, for love, go all for love. We're going for love, for beating hearts off the charts. Love, go all for love. We're going for love, baby, going for love, baby, for love.
There's something so satisfying about filling up cereal containers. I love doing it, and I love putting them on my little open pantry. It just like feels so official. I feel like an actual adult. I feel like a grown-up when I do stuff like this. I think it's because I neglect doing it so often that when I actually do it, I feel accomplished. Half the time, even though we have these containers up here on the open pantry, the boxes just lay around everywhere. Usually they're in the actual pantry. Sometimes they're on the table, in the freezer. So I like having it all put together how I intended it to be when I got those containers. It makes me feel accomplished. I got a little pumpkin marshmallow candle here. I will admit, sometimes I play around with the fragrances in my house. Y'all saw the Twilight one I just showed you a little bit ago. That's actually a cologne, a men's cologne smell, and this one's like a fall pumpkin goodie smell. Sometimes it works out when I play with the different scents, sometimes it don't. This case, it did not. It really smelled like a fart covered Fruit Loop. It really did this day. So sometimes it's a win, sometimes it's a lose. You just gotta play with it. I'm getting just the main living area tidied up. I had every intention on doing way more laundry on this day than I actually did get done. So I wanted to have the living room tidy and the kitchen tidy so that I could fold the laundry and transport it with a clear mind, because there's no way I can do laundry when I'm in a cluttered space. No way. I can't. If something stops me, I cannot do it. So I just wanted to get the area tidy. I didn't vacuum or sweep or anything. I probably should have, because my floors were a little bit gross, but I didn't.
Come and save my soul. I don't care for you and me. I don't mean to start a scene. When I feel that way, I guess it's you against the world. But we know it's not enough.
Got it tight in here. Haven't vacuumed or swept, and it needs to be vacuumed and swept in here. But I got light fixtures. I told you guys I've been saving for them for a while because they're expensive. It's expensive to change out all the light fixtures in your house at once. So I did one at a time, and I only have 2 left in the main living area. Yeah, 2 left in the main living area. I went ahead and I picked up the 2 so we can just knock those 2 out of the park. It's looked a little weird doing it one at a time, but you gotta do that when you're on a budget. You gotta just roll with it. And I mean, honestly, nobody really comes in your house to look at your ceilings anyway. So it's not like, you're not gonna walk in here and see the difference over there. Like, nobody's gonna notice that that light fixture is different from the rest of the black light fixtures in my house. Nobody's gonna look over here and see that the light fixture in the hallway is the new light fixture. You can tell by the lighting though. These light fixtures right here, I'll show you. These right here I get at Lowe's. They're $100, so they are expensive. That's why I said you gotta kind of do one at a time. But these aren't just for aesthetic purposes or like, you know, to make the house look pretty and industrial and stuff like that, like I like. These make it 10 times brighter than that kind. These have 2 light bulbs, and these aren't frosted like those are over here. It does, like, it's supposed to look like it's wet a little bit. I don't get that. But, like, it has, like, I don't know. You guys will see. I'll show you up close when we get it out of the package. But it is a lot brighter. My single wide needs that because in here at night, it's super dark. You can probably tell in my videos the change in light from when it goes from the day to the night. And then I have my black accent wall, and I have my wooden beams, and I like the dark Jacobean wood style and stuff like that. So my house does have a lot of white and grayish and stuff like that in it, but it also has a lot of dark colors too, especially now that we did that big accent wall. And then if I walk over here, you see the accent wall and you see those beams, and it can look a little bit dark. So I'm changing out all of these, not only for aesthetic purposes, not only because they're industrial looking, but because they do make it a lot brighter in here. And when I say I'm changing out these, what I really meant to say was Shane's changing out these. So up close and personal, they're pretty large. I mean, this is the size of my hand, so they're pretty large. This is what I'm telling you. Y'all see that? It looks like it's been rained on. I don't know why that it was made like that, but it kind of gives it some character. And it's better than it being frosted, because the frosted ones really make it dim in here. They're pretty big too. I mean, compared to that up there, like, it's pretty big.
Somebody who's had to deal with leaks this year.
Yeah.
Things freak me out.
We've dealt with a lot of leaks in the trailer this year, and this does freak Shane out every now and then, because it does look like it's just water. Look, it looks like there's water in there.
I can tell you how many times I walked in that bathroom forgetting they're like that, and I walk in there like, no, no.
So we're gonna do some mobile home updates. We're gonna install these new light fixtures. Light fixtures are a really affordable way to change the look of your house. People who come in might not notice it right off the bat, but you will. And while they are expensive, $100 is not cheap. It's cheap compared to some of the stuff you would get into trying to make over your home. Like, compared to these beams or the flooring or the accent wall and stuff like that, it's relatively cheap. And if you have to, do it like me. Take it one at a time, because you just have to sometimes. Sometimes it's gotta be like that. I am super excited to get all of these industrial light fixtures though. I'm so excited. It's so funny to remember the good old days when we first started making over the mobile home. It took Shane forever just to do one light fixture, and now he knocked out both of these light fixtures, and I don't know how long. Like, it was so fast. It was like a snap of a finger. It's just second nature for him now. He just takes the light fixture off, and then I can't really explain what he does. He just does the ground wire things. I know that he talks a lot about a ground wire. And then he screws the new one back up in there and makes sure that it has light bulbs in it. He would have to explain this to a T, but really he learned off of YouTube. Like, he YouTubes everything when it comes to our home improvements, and it teaches him so much. One thing I do know for certain though, we always turn the breaker off for whatever area we're working on, that lighting area, because we don't want to be fried chicken.
I can chase my heart away, change my mind, it's still the same. Feeling in my heart, falling from the stars. The way you're going on and on and on, it's so predictable. Maybe one last time. Why do we go on like this? Can we ever make it stop? But I'll be yours to keep. What you give is what you get. I don't care to start a fight. I don't want you to say how it feels so alone. But I don't care what you do. It's up to me to say I'm sorry. It's easy to try. I can chase my heart away, change my
Alright, looking around.
Right now?
Go.
Yay! It looks so good.
Oh yeah, we got a lot more light in here.
Yeah.
so predictable. Can't believe that I'm still running. It's all the same to you. When I feel that I start falling, I stick around, and I won't be sorry.
I'm going to fold this load right here. It's the first load of laundry I folded all day because I've been doing other stuff. But I'm going to get that folded before I have to finish dinner up. Y'all know that I said in the last video that I only made instant taters, and those Bob Marley, are they Bob Marley mashed taters? Billy Madison? What is it? It's some kind of, what is it? It's Bob something, Billy Bob. Those mashed taters that came in a little thing in the refrigerated section at the store. I usually only make those. I can't even tell you when the last time I made homemade mashed potato was. Well, guess what? After I said that, now I want to make some. So I'm going to make some of that. Shane likes my homemade mashed potatoes too. I'm going to make some of that. Oh, the macaroni, the Billy Madison. What is it? It's Bob Ross. Anyway, that macaroni was not out of date that I got at Priceless, but we went to open it and there was mold, like sitting mold last night, because we had the barbecue tray that I showed you guys in the grocery haul and the mashed potatoes, the easy mashed potatoes and the easy macaroni. We didn't have the macaroni because we opened it, even though it was still in date. It didn't go out till like December, I think. there was literally mold. That is not the first time I've had issues with Priceless and their food quality. I don't know. Shane and I, the last grocery haul we did, Shane and I got 2 pizzas, and then when we didn't realize till we got home that they were both out of date, extremely out of date. And so we went to go get pizzas this time, and Shane remembered to check the dates, and all of the DiGiorno pizzas were way out of date. So they're not rotating their food like they should or something. It doesn't explain the mold sitting in the macaroni and cheese. I've never seen that like that. And Shane's like, I'm scared now to keep shopping there. So what do you do? Because we live 45 minutes away from a Sam's Club. I don't do Walmart.com anymore, like the grocery pickup. You go in Walmart, you spend a ton of money. You go to Priceless and you get old stuff. You go to Aldi, and my Aldi, it doesn't have anything half the time. Well, 3/4 of the time it's been picked over. So I don't know, like Sam's Club I guess, but I struggle with Sam's Club because I like the bulk shopping, but I always get it mixed up and messed up when I have to go and get the filler stuff at a regular store. So I like to just get all my stuff in one area. Might not be able to always do that though. It's not looking like I'm going to be able to do that. But anyway, I'm making homemade mashed potatoes tonight and some green beans, maybe a roll or something. I don't know. I don't know who set that clock to 1:40. Cole, did you set the clock? I told you the clock is broken. My clock back there says it's 1:41. It is not. It's actually 6:30. I don't know what in the world. Yeah. My neighbor just saw me through the window and was like, before we even get into the dinner situation, I'm going to fold that load of laundry. And while I do that, I asked you guys over on my Instagram, I asked y'all to ask me questions for this little segment of the video, and I got a ton. It goes on and on and on. So I'm going to just randomly scroll and then click one and answer it. Let me get my camera set up though. I can't be too long-winded because I gotta work on dinner, so we'll do a few of them. All right, this is a good one. If you and Shane have an argument, who is most likely to apologize first? It always differs. So if I think I started the argument, then I'll be the first one to apologize. Like, I used to be so bullheaded, and I used to think I did no wrong, and it took God really humbling me and letting me know that I am not the best thing since sliced bread. It really took God humbling me so that I could be like, okay, Merina, you don't know everything, and sometimes, a lot of times, you do make mistakes, and you need to hold yourself accountable and take responsibility and apologize. But on the opposite side, if Shane is the one who thinks he did something wrong, he is so fast to apologize. I mean, 15 minutes. He will not let me go to bed during an argument ever. He's always been like that ever since the very beginning. He has never let me go to sleep during an argument. So we're both really good about apologizing. If a rare occasion happens where neither of us feel like we did anything wrong, but there's still an argument going on, Shane is usually the first one to apologize. Even if he's done nothing wrong, like if it means me not going to sleep mad at him, he will apologize. So that's something I'm working on too, is whenever it's not obvious to me that I caused the problem, then I won't apologize. And I need to really evaluate myself in times like that and understand that sometimes there will be a problem, sometimes I'm the problem, and sometimes I just don't realize it. Do your kiddos enjoy reading? Oh yeah, especially the girls really love it, but Colton is my reader. He likes the Hardy Boys, Nancy Drew. He will read anything I put in front of him, and he gets really into it. He likes to read to Cammy, and he likes to do all the voices and stuff. He's very animated. I'm sure you guys can guess where he got that from. Will you send an Xmas card to Canada? My family loves you all. I've sent them to Canada. I've sent them, where's that one? Norway? There was one country I sent one back to that I'm still in the middle of sending back Christmas cards from last year, and I feel horrible about that for time purposes and money purposes, because stamps are cheap for a couple of letters, but when you're going out of the country and stuff like that, it gets really expensive. But yeah, I'll send one back to Canada. I'll send one to Canada. I think it was Norway that had the funny looking, they like put their address on the back or something. I sent one back to Norway. Germany, I think there was a Germany one. I couldn't believe that I even got any of those, but I do, no matter where it's from, send one back. It might not be in a timely manner because there is so much, and I feel bad about that, and I wish I could get back to everybody right away. But honestly, whenever I got my P.O. box, I did not expect to get so many Christmas cards. I thought I would get a couple hundred at the most. Even less than that, honestly, if I'm being honest. I didn't think it would be a lot. So it kind of blew me away. It kind of caught me off guard. But I'll never complain about it. I keep every single one. Every single card I get, I keep. And I keep it in a little binder in my memory bin. I know you share a lot of your life with us, but is there anything that remains private for you? That's hard. That's a hard horse to straddle, because I want to be completely transparent and be authentic, but I have to keep in mind of there's 5 other people in this home, and they're all entitled to their privacy. So that's kind of something I've been working on. I used to share a lot more about homeschooling and just things in general, but when I started getting a bigger platform, I quickly realized that that was sort of a breach of their privacy. So I've kind of been working on what I feel comfortable sharing and what I don't feel comfortable sharing. I don't feel comfortable sharing my kiddos' medical information, and you can imagine the assumptions I get in regards to that, because I don't talk about any of their medical plans. Their medical plans are between me and their medical professionals. But people also know that I have a child with autism, and because I don't talk about medical plans and stuff, they assume things. It's really hard because a lot of people know that I have an autistic child. Even if I hadn't have said that in the beginning, that would have been pretty obvious, especially the level that my child is at. And I feel bad because a lot of people want to know more about my experience being the mother of a child who has autism, the level of autism that mine has. They want to know if I have any tips, and they want to know if I can share my experiences to help others. And there are plenty of articles that were created by professionals, by people who are very well known in the ASD community. Like, there's a lot of people who know a lot about a lot of things. While I do know a lot, because I am pretty seasoned in it. I mean, I have had my child for 10 years. And I have been through every hoop and every jump and every obstacle. Still, even though I want to help others, I still want to keep his life private. He can't tell me whether he wants me to share anything, and even if he could, he's a child. My children don't know, and I've come to realize this, my children don't know the repercussions to the decisions that they make at this age. So even if, I know I did a video one time and I asked Colton if I could share something specific that he goes through, and he said yes. Looking back at that now, I realize my 11-year-old said yes, but my 11-year-old doesn't understand the repercussions of that decision, that yes that he gave me. So in reality, I can't accept a yes from them because they really don't know the magnitude of what that yes really means until they become older. So I do keep things in regards to their health and stuff like that private. I know I could help a lot of people if I didn't, but if you do need help and you are in a similar situation as me, I urge you to go look up articles, do your homework, Google, talk with your medical providers, occupational therapists, speech therapists, whatever therapy they're in. Become really open and transparent with their professionals as to what they go through at home, because they can only do so much in the hour that they have them. It's usually an hour, sometimes 2 hours. They can only do so much. Most of the work is actually done at home. It's actually concreted at home. So those are the best people, because no child with ASD is the same. I mean, they can have a lot of the same things. There's a lot of similarities. They go through symptoms, stuff like that. This is my underwear. Symptoms and stuff like that. But no one child is the same. It's the same with any other child. JC is not like Jolie. They're twins, and neither of them are considered neurodivergent, but they're totally different. Get to the point with their professionals that you feel comfortable talking with them, even about hard stuff, because those people are there to help not only your child, but they're there to help you too. Because let's be honest, nobody expects their child to be autistic. I didn't get pregnant with Cameron and think he's going to be autistic. So it kind of hits you like a freight train, and you're never prepared. No matter how much you think you're prepared for things that you're going to go through, you're never prepared. It's all a learning process. And the best thing you can do is just to roll with the punches. Roll with the punches and utilize your relationship with his doctor. They're professionals. Doing that will make things a lot easier at home. I do keep that private. Sorry, I went off on a tangent. That's the norm for me, right? But I do keep that private. I do keep Shane's job private. You guys know back many months ago, we had a situation. I don't talk about the situations I go through in regards to YouTube. Some not ideal situations, some scary situations. I don't talk about those, but because of situations that happened, I had to stop sharing about Shane's work. I had to stop talking about his schedule. I had to stop talking about details. He had to stop wearing his work shirt on video. Once that happened, you didn't see him in his work polos anymore. I stopped sharing a lot of information that I shared in the beginning. I didn't realize in the beginning how imperative it is that you keep your life private, even while you're trying to be authentic, transparent, and real with people. There are still certain aspects of your life that have got to remain private. Especially if you get a larger platform, you grow really fast, you get big, and you guys gotta remember, 70,000 people, it is everything to me. There are people with millions and millions of subscribers, hundreds of channels with over 500,000 subscribers. So even at my size, which is considered big to smaller YouTubers, but small to bigger YouTubers, you realize once you get to that size that it's very important that you be careful, that you think about the things you share before you share them. So there are aspects of my life that remain private for that reason. How do you budget for Christmas? I have 4 kids and on a tight budget. My best advice, coming from somebody who's still on a budget but used to be on a very tight budget, is to do it by month. So start very early. I started back when pennies in the bank account before each payday. That's how bad. Sometimes negative in the bank account, if you want me to be honest. Negative in the bank account before each payday. I started in June, and that sounds really early, but I had to start then. And I would dedicate a month and a half. We got paid once a week, so that was about 6 paychecks. I would dedicate the 6 paychecks to one child. And what I would do is in that 6 paychecks, or it would be 3 paychecks if you get paid bi-weekly, whatever was left, whatever I could kind of gather up, maybe cutting down on a grocery bill. Now you can't really do that. You can't really do that. But not eating out, taking lunch instead of buying lunch at work, things like that. I would pull whatever I could together, and whatever was left out of each of the week, I would order off Amazon something or some things that were in that amount. So if I had $27 left over after the week and all of our bills were paid, and I had kind of fixed the grocery bill so that I could have extra money, I would devote that $27 to something on Amazon. If I thought that they would like something cheaper than $27, I would get 1 or 2 little things. Or if they are wanting bigger things, which back then bigger things wasn't a luxury my kiddos always had. They didn't have the option to get the PS5 for Christmas. It was more so like toys. It was nice things, but it was smaller things. So a $60 video game would be their big present. So if they wanted things like that and they didn't want anything that was cheaper, or you didn't think they would like anything that was cheaper, then you would put that $27 in an envelope, set it back into the next pay period, and then try it together and do the same thing over. Try to get as much money as you can, add it to it. So let's say you have $55, then go to the next pay period, do the same thing, and just do that for the 6 weeks. In my case, I did it that way. Whatever I could get in the first 6 weeks, set the bar for what I would spend on each child. So if I could only gather up $100 for a Christmas budget, then that was $100 for that child, $100 for that child, $100 for that child, $100 for that child, $400 bought Christmas. I've had years where it was $50. That was all I could afford, $50 for Christmas. When I worked, a lot of you guys don't know, but for a while I was the sole provider. And when I worked in healthcare, I would pull double shifts. There was nothing to pull from the budget because I didn't have enough to even pay my bills in the first place. There was nothing I could, it was draining blood from a turnip. I couldn't do anything. So I would work over, and that's where you guys hear me talk a lot about my walking 6 miles in the snow thing. My grandmas and grandpas tell you, I walked 6 miles in the snow. I worked 16-hour shifts, 7 days a week, and that's how I got our Christmas money. I would sell stuff on Craigslist, things I really liked, things that were mine. I would sell it on Craigslist, and and sometimes that's how I would make money. My kiddos always had a Christmas, but it does vary in regards to how big the Christmases are. Last year was probably the biggest Christmas I was able to give my kids, thanks to you guys. But it hasn't always been that way. So I know how it feels to try to get $5 out of the bank after all your bills are paid. I remember very, very vividly how that feels. And my best advice would be, do not put too much pressure on the presents. If you really can't afford anything, focus on the moment itself. If you know it's going to be a small Christmas, do a lot of baking with them. Kids love to help mama bake. Like, I don't know a kid that does not like to help mama bake. Do a lot of baking. Make it fun. You can't afford Elf on the Shelf. Do Barbie on the Barbie. I don't know. Do something like that. I'm serious though. It doesn't always have to be about the amount of money you can spend on the gifts. Like, can we just normalize the fact that not everybody can go buy their kid a $3,000 dirt bike for Christmas? I'm so tired of seeing that on the internet. Like, you see that all over TikTok. I'm like, what in the world? That's a whole used car. If you really can't afford a lot, get them a few little presents. Fill a stocking up with candy. And spend time in the moment. Focus on putting up the tree. Focus on putting up the decorations as a family, as a unit. Bake a lot of goodies. I mean, even if all you can do is bake flour cookies, those kids are gonna love it because they baked it. I felt that out a long time ago. You have your kid, if your kid don't want to eat something, you have them make it and they'll eat it. Just remember, nobody's over here trying to keep up with the Joneses. Just because they bought their kid a $3,000 dirt bike for Christmas does not mean that's the standard that you need to meet on being a good parent. That'll never be a standard you have to meet for being a good parent. Are you present for your child? Does your child have all the necessities they need? Are they fed? Are they warm? Do they have a bed? Do they have a roof? Do you help them with their homework? That's what defines you as a parent, not the $3,000 dirt bike. Nobody get that twisted. My husband wants to know if he can hang out with Shane. Shane's friends are older. So like Shane's best work friend is twice Shane's age, and Shane loves him. They get along perfect because Shane's an old soul. He doesn't party. He doesn't, do all the things that younger men do. His main focus is his family, but he will literally be nice to anybody. Like Shane, first of all, he can talk paint off a wall. He doesn't talk a lot when you first meet him, but once you get to know him, he will talk your head off. He really will, especially if you have something in common with him that he enjoys. He will talk your head off. How do you not let what people say about you and to you get to you? How do you remain so positive? First of all, I don't let them get to me because 90% of my hate comments, there are people saying, you should have had your house clean by the time your husband gets home, or I can't believe that you ain't got that laundry done yet, or something like that. And first of all, I'm not on their time limit. I make my own schedule, thank you. I'm 31 years old and I'm not going to be timed by a person on the internet in regards to how long it takes me to get my laundry pile under control. So that's how I do it. I just see it as I'm on my own time. I have my own schedule. I have my own standards for myself, and let's be honest, my standards for myself are pretty high. I'm a very self-aware person, and that can be a really good thing and a really bad thing because you can hurt your own feelings really quickly. But I'm a very self-aware person, so honestly, nobody can be harder on me than I am to. Nobody can be harder than I am to myself to me. How would you word that? Nobody can be harder on me than I'm harder on me. Y'all get what I'm saying, right? And the other part of the comments are fat jokes, which, I mean, okay, Captain Obvious, or something about my teeth. And if they're not going to pay for my dental work, then I could really give two farts as to what they think about my teeth. As I said in that one video, y'all got cracked up at it, but it's honesty. I'm not that invested in others' opinions. I know what Shane thinks about me. I know what my kids think about me. I know what I think about myself, but more importantly, I know what Jesus knows about me. And that's who, at the end of my life, I will answer to. And if he feels that I'm not doing an adequate job at being a homemaker, being a mom, a wife, well, he knows my heart. So if he knows I'm not doing an adequate job, he also knows what my intentions are and the drive that I have to be that A1 mom, to be that A1 homemaker, to be that A1 wife. He knows all. So when I get to heaven, if I ain't got my stuff together by then, then I'm going to say, you know what, Jesus, I never really got it down pat, but I tried. I really tried. I did not give up. I kept going, even when I was drowning in the laundry, even when I couldn't get the routine down, even when I was trying with everything in my might and I was chasing my tail, even when people on the internet were giving me a hard time, even when I wasn't meeting their standards, even when they were thinking low of me. I did my absolute best, and I done unto my home, I done unto my children, I done unto my husband as I would have done unto you. And that's what matters at the end of my life. If I can look at Jesus in the eye at the end of my life, after I give him a big old hug, and I can say, I did to my home, I did to my children, I did to my husband as I would have done to you, that is what matters. Nobody else's opinion is irrelevant. Do I care what other people think? Absolutely. In regards to my character, absolutely. I take that seriously. I really take that seriously. I watch what I say. I watch my reaction. I filter through a ton of steps before I give a reaction to anybody. I'm not one of those people who you can get a reaction from right away, because I really take my words seriously. Once they're out there, I can't get them back. The turd comments, the hate comments, you can erase those right after you make them, or right after I see them. You can erase those from the internet, but I can't erase them from up here. I can't erase what you said. You said what you said. I can't erase that. Same as when I react to hateful people, or I react to people who make fun of me, or call me names, or talk down about me, or talk down to me, disrespect me, all those things. I will never be able to get my reaction back. Once it's out there, it's out there. And I represent Jesus. I talk about Jesus too much to be out here acting like a fool. Sometimes I represent him badly, but I always try to represent him in a godly way. The easiest way to not snap back at someone is to realize that in the big scheme of things, what they say, what they think doesn't really matter. Don't matter. That's how I stay positive. I'm in it for a well done, my good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a few things. I'm going to make you ruler over many. That's what I'm in it for. And he can make me a ruler over the cabin on the outskirts of heaven. And I could care less, because I'm in it for Jesus. I'm not in it for what Jesus can give me. He already gave me his life. In the place of mine. I'm good. We're good. I don't expect nothing else. We're good. Let's make some mashed taters. I got that load folded, and I talked and answered those questions in an hour. Actually, 45 minutes. It's not 2:15. I want to know who did that. JJ, did you touch this? No. Okay. Homemade mashed taters. Let me show you how I make them. I make them how Nanny made them. I've seen a lot of people put butter in the taters after you boil them. I put butter in the taters while they boil. I changed my mind. I want to make it the way that y'all make it. So I'm probably going to add butter after the fact. Maybe. Do I even have butter? Oh, Sam. Please don't make us have butterless taters. Oh, yeah. Well, I have fake butter. It's the cheap Imperial butter you can get. Imperial butter you can get from DG. I don't know if I'm using this upside down. This side, it has little grooves. This side is flat. But it claims to be skid markless or whatever. But it's not really. It still slides. I don't know. Let's be honest. This right here is the reason I don't make mashed taters as often as I would like to. I hate peeling taters. Usually I recruit one of the kiddos to help me, but they were off doing their own thing. I think they were playing like some sort of game where they flicked the switcher around. But it was like something like the Wii. Back in our day, we had the Wii, and now they have like the Switch or whatever. They were doing that, and I didn't want to interrupt them, so I just ended up peeling all these taters, almost a whole bag of taters, and plopping them in here and letting them boil. I didn't put the butter in them like like I was going to, I just waited until afterwards. And I actually like the way that they tasted this time, so I may do that from now on. Just wait to put the butter in, not while they're boiling, but whenever I mix everything else in. Alright, got these suckers boiled. I'm going to drain the water and then we're going to put it in my handy dandy mixture over here and slowly add milk, salt, and butter. What y'all playing? Mario Party! Dinner is done. We got the chicken stuffed in the crock pot, homemade mashed taters, and French style green beans. What you think?
10 out of 10. Mark it down. Sign it off.
Get his plate.
I'm gonna give you seconds.
Alright, Shane's gonna mimic our picky children.
So our picky children have what I call the stalling method, and there's 3 versions of the stalling method. The first is when he's going, "Oh, Mama, this looks really good. This looks really good." Now keep in mind of the bite size. "Oh, that's good. That's so good, Mama. That's great." 15 minutes later, "Oh, this is the best thing I've ever had in my entire life. Thank you. Thank you, Mama." That's number 1.
Has yet to take another bite, too.
Number 2.
It's not a siesta.
It's asleep. I'm out of drink.
I can't eat without a drink.
That's the second. Now number 3. I am eating. I'm eating. I am. And then one of them, JC or Colton, will say, "They're not eating." I am. I've been eating. Look. Look.
They move it around on their plate.
I've been eating. Look at all that. And that's my kids.
Immediately after we got done eating dinner, I jumped on the dinner dishes and tidying up after dinner. I haven't always done this. I'm trying to do this more often. Let's be honest, it doesn't get done every night, but I do always make that the goal. I do always say, okay, I really want to make sure I tidy up after we eat. That way I can wake up to at least a clean kitchen. The rest of my house may be disarrayed, but if the kitchen's clean when I wake up, I'll feel so much more motivated to tackle the rest of it.
Who can make me lose my mind? You start me up like no one has ever could. You fuel my fire. What are the odds we end up loving it? Spending every minute together. I found it quite hard, quite lovely. You start me up like no one has ever could. You fuel my fire, fire, fire. You fuel my fire, fire, fire. You fuel my fire, fire, fire.
Alright, y'all, I'm closing out the vlog here. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. I hope you guys have a blessed morning, even night. Whatever it is, wherever you're at, know that I love you. But Jesus loves you so much more. I'll see y'all later.